What's up, Taiwan? I'm Ethan Liu with 10 minutes of news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Taiwan is holding local elections on Saturday, and all eyes are on the race for Taipei mayor. Not only will the winner run Taiwan's capital, but some mayors have gone on to win the presidency. This year, one of the frontrunners is a former dentist and health minister. Louis Watt looks at his campaign.
The most high-profile candidate in Taipei's mayoral election is Chen Shih-chung, Taiwan's former health minister. He's standing for the ruling Democratic Progressive Party. The country's president has frequently been at his side on the campaign trail.
就是要陈时中，只有陈时中是我们最好的市长。有没有同意？有。
Chen says he wants to resolve traffic congestion in a tech hub district, build more social housing, and give new mothers more financial support. He's also talked about how he wants Taipei to keep pace with world-class cities.
台北是国家的首都，我们要更国际化，所以我要成立国际事务局，要培养具有国际专业的年轻人才。
But his campaign has suffered some awkward turns. One campaign video promising to install electric bidets in all of Taipei's public restrooms got panned for seemingly promoting voyeurism.
我当市长。
Chen has never run for government office before, but the pandemic pushed him into the spotlight. As health minister, he was a familiar and reassuring face on the nation's TV screens, and his popularity soared. But his COVID record may now prove to be his Achilles heel.
再见了，谢谢。
He stepped down as health minister to run for mayor in July, at a time when Taiwan was still dealing with a serious COVID wave. Observers say it's one of his challenges as he seeks votes in Taipei, which traditionally doesn't vote for the DPP but the opposition, known as the Pan-Blue camp.
His reputation is directly tied to perceptions of how Taiwan's performance during COVID-19 was. There are people that view Taiwan as having done very badly, for example, particularly among the Pan-Blue camp. That would be the view that, for example, vaccine purchases were not transparent, or that Taiwan purchased more in terms of price than other countries, or that Taiwan did not do anything and was very late in purchasing vaccines.
Another issue is that Chen's policies aren't so different from those of his main opponents. Jiang Wan-an of the KMT, and Vivian Huang, an independent and former Taipei deputy mayor.
They actually often agree on what are the same issues facing each locality they're running in. For example, an growing elderly population, or that young people don't have enough housing, or they can't afford housing, or transportation, for example. And so I feel it's almost much more about party ID, just which party which candidate belongs to.
If Chen does appeal to enough voters across party lines, a win for the DPP in Taipei would be huge. The party hasn't had a Taipei mayor for 24 years. And a victory for Chen would boost the ruling party ahead of presidential and legislative elections in a little over a year's time. Klein Wong and Louise Watt for TaiwanPlus.
Tune in again to TaiwanPlus today to see the final part in our series looking at the top 3 candidates for Taipei mayor. Meanwhile, Taiwan's health ministry is taking heat from rights organizations for not allowing people with COVID-19 to vote in the upcoming local elections. Amnesty International says this could prevent around 300,000 people from casting their ballots this Saturday. Bing Wang has more.
The start of the COVID-19 pandemic in early 2020 turned life in many parts of the world upside down. It's left democracies faced with the hard task of holding elections at a time where gatherings were discouraged. The U.S. took extra precautions during its presidential election in 2020. That election broke the record for most votes by mail. Out of 160 million eligible voters, 65 million mailed in the ballots. Taiwan law does not allow mail-in ballots. You have to vote in person. But Taiwan's health ministry says that people with COVID-19 won't be able to vote at all.
如果还在5天的居家照护期间，那请民众遵循这个传染病防治法，依照规定是不得外出。
If they break quarantine, they could face a fine of up to $62,000. This rule was in place the last time Taiwan's voters went to the polls in 2021. But at that time, there were only a handful of COVID cases every day. Now, 11 months later, Taiwan is seeing around 20,000 cases daily. Amnesty International has called foul on barring people with COVID from voting.
It certainly violates the International Convention of Civil and Political Rights and also the rights of people to participate in public affairs.
Taiwan adopted that convention in 2009. The health ministry says the reason to keep people in quarantine is simple.
我们还是请民众遵守这个相关的法律规定。那主要的目的是保护自己，也保护他人的这个健康和权利。
Rights groups recommended the solutions used in neighboring countries.
Like in Japan, the senatorial election in July this year, they revised their bill and allowed the postal ballot for COVID quarantined people and set up a dedicated polling station for them.
And South Korea had special voting hours for those who tested positive.
During the extended 1.5 hour, the quarantined people who get COVID could able to go to a polling station to vote.
The head of Taiwan's Pandemic Response Task Force, Wang Bi-sen, says the government is considering ways to allow people with COVID to vote. But with the vote just days away, time is running out for a solution. Alex Chen and Bing Wang for TaiwanPlus.
Taipei City is getting ready to expand an artificial intelligence system that's designed to combat traffic violations. The system will be installed next month at some of the city's worst traffic hotspots. This includes the Taipei Bridge off-ramp, known for the huge number of scooters that use it during rush hour. The AI will attract offenses like illegal turns, running red lights, and not yielding to pedestrians.
那些就是一肇事路口，那因为一些违规，所以造成一些事故的发生，所以因为警力有限，所以就是使用那个科技执法来做全天候的那个取缔这样。
One effect of the COVID-19 pandemic in Taiwan has been a rise in wildlife activity with fewer humans around. Researchers at a university in southern Taiwan say some species have seen a stable rise in their numbers over the past 2 years. They included Formosan black bear, a national icon, but one that's rarely seen. Less human activity has also led to some more common species roaming more freely. But the researchers say they haven't observed such a revival for the leopard cat, Taiwan's last remaining native wildcat species. Taiwan has agreed to lend the UK a locomotive from the tourist hotspot of Alishan. Jeremy Olivier has the story.
Next stop, Britain. The Alishan Forest Railway's DL34, one of Taiwan's most distinctive tourist trains, will be pulling out of the station soon, on its way to the UK. The train is being loaned to Wales in the UK's far west for use on its Welshpool Landfair Light Railway. It is expected to ride there in early 2023. Marking the occasion, Welshpool Landfair Secretary Michael Riley appeared with Forestry Bureau head Lin Huaqing atop the train's engine in southern Taiwan's Jiayi. Lin is optimistic the train will make an impact abroad. The Alishan Forest Railway is the highest narrow gauge line in Asia. Its DL34 diesel locomotive was bought from Japan in 1972. As the train is prepared to be shipped off, Taiwan and the UK can look forward to seeing the results of this unique display of transportation diplomacy. Klein Wang and Jeremy Olivier for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, we leave you with images of 1,000-year-old Viking ships and sleighs in Oslo, Norway. I'm Ethan. Take care and see you next time.